So recently, the whole thing with the peer happened. Now, I'm not going to. That's the peer shutting down. The peer. I believe a lot of you in the tech space are familiar with what the peer is. And if you don't know, the peer is an API, is a fintech API. They are supposed to facilitate transactions between. I think they're a B2B company. They're supposed to facilitate a transaction between different fintechs through an API. And I believe that one of the things that they were also aiming for is that if you wanted to start a fintech company and you don't have the infrastructure, you can just plug into their infrastructure. I think that was one of their aims. And while I will not be saying specifics regarding the matter, because I myself I'm not going to claim full knowledge about it, even we're still unraveling what happened, why they had to shut down. So no throwing blame to anybody or whatever. But today I just want to speak on why I think developers sometimes might not make the best businessmen. Yeah, developers sometimes might not make the best businessmen. These are a knock on developers. Even Google founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page had to hire a CEO. Yeah, they had to hire a CEO at the point in time, and he was giving them direct. They were answering to him. So yeah, you see, let me start with a personal experience. When I started my old tech career, like I've mentioned sometimes on this channel, there wasn't all these fancy remote jobs. You work abroad remotely, or you work for a Paystack or a Flutterwave. No, there wasn't anything like that. You just go into freelancing or you start a company. So I started a company. I started offering my services and stuff like that. I know definitely there were years of struggle, but when I started to get real money, when I started to get good money, I was mismanaging it. Yes, I was managing. I was not. It wasn't that I was lavishing. I was not balling. I'm not a baller. I was not balling or anything. But I was still getting broke. And then it took my then girlfriend, who is now my wife, to set me straight. Like, how can you be making this much money? I'm getting broke. Because then when clients pay me, I'll just put everything inside one account, and I'll be spending from that account. So a client just paid me 500k, I'm just going to put it in my personal account. And if I want to buy fuel, I'll just drive it to a filling station and just buy full tank. There was no plan. There was no structure to my finances. It's just pour money inside that place, and anytime you need money, pick money out of the place. So even if I had to pay for services, for the job itself, it was still the same account. So she helped me organize everything. This is how much I started paying myself salary. I started paying myself salary. Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't agree at first. It wasn't a very easy thing to agree with. But I had to succumb when I got broke like 2 times again. I had to succumb. Started paying myself salary. Started allocating money for fuel. Started allocating money for the work itself. Started putting some money in savings. I started having like 3 bank accounts and stuff like that. So it took an external person, to set me straight, because you see, a lot of times, we developers, we are too close to the technology and too close to the product. We are too close to technology and too close to the product. And we feel that the development space is a smarty industry. So we feel that we have this sense that we're smart people. So when it comes to business, we're like, yeah, I'm smart. I should be able to do business, because we've watched the social network. And we saw how Zuckerberg built Facebook out of school. We've watched the Silicon Valley startup series, and you just want to be the next WizKid in the game. You want to be the one making all the technological decisions, and also making the business decisions, even making the financial decisions. And a lot of times this might not be the best. I remember there was a time PC Timmy interviewed Ezra. Yeah, Ezra. I don't even know whether they had I think Stripe had bought them at that time. She interviewed Ezra, and he talked about a particular issue that they had in Paystack, where they felt some developers were already senior enough to move into managerial levels. So they promoted all those developers that have been with them for a long time, promoted them into managerial levels. Oh, you had this team, you had that team, you had this team. But after a while, those guys got frustrated. Those people got frustrated because they now had to be managing. They are now doing more of managing people than managing code bases. And all these people just wanted to do was come in and code. they don't wanted to just come in and code. So they got frustrated. There was a lot of issues internally, and they now had to hire actual engineering managers that had people skills and also technical skills to actually be in those positions, while those guys can go back to what they love, which is coding. And that's something we really have to understand as developers, that you have to understand your strengths. It's not far-fetched that you can see a developer that also has business acumen, knows the nuts and bolts of business. But if you don't, you don't. If you don't, you don't. And these are some things that developers, especially developers starting startups, need to know about business. I have started like 3 failed startups, and now I've worked, and now I've also started a business, and it's looking good because I failed a lot in the past. So what I'm doing now is currently looking good, and I'm daring new spaces, and now I'm trying to learn a lot. Not like those days I would just feel, oh yeah, I'm a developer, I'm a smart guy, I can do all these things. But now I'm taking my time to learn a lot of things, and I'm going to say a couple of things that I feel that the developers need to learn, and some mistakes that I feel developers make when going into a business. The first thing that you need to understand is the concept of value proposition. Value proposition. You have to understand. A lot of time we hear, oh, find the problem, solve it, and they will just magically become a business. No, that's not how it really works. We have this build it and they will come mentality. That's not how it will really work. Someone said the fact that there is a gap in the market doesn't mean that there's a market in the gap. The fact that there's a gap in the market doesn't mean that there's a market in the gap. You say, untapped market. When you go there, you will know why it is not tapped yet. You will know why that market has not been tapped yet. You see, since I read Strategizer series, they got me when I watched their business model canvas video like almost over a decade ago. Business model canvas, how to structure a business and everything. So I started following the whole Strategizer series, and one of the great books, I even need to collect it back from my brother, he borrowed it, Value Proposition. When I read that book taught me how to walk from the need to the product. But most of the time we developers, we work from the product to the need. We will say, oh, I can create this awesome thing, then people just have to like it because it's so awesome. No. No, people don't care. You have to go to what people need. You have to go and ask people questions. Go out. Yeah, we don't like going out. We like staying indoors. We go out, put a survey out, hire people to go out. Let them go and ask those important questions to know what people actually need. What are their pain points? It's those pain points that will be converted to jobs that needs to be done to alleviate them of those pains. And those jobs are the things that are going to make up the product you're offering. So you already know that they need this thing before you go and spend a lot of money building something that a lot of people are not going to need. You build this very fancy white elephant project, and at the end of the day, people don't want it. People don't want it. It's just like this case whereby you build this very big overhead bridge. You build a very big overhead bridge, but you don't build it at the bus stop. You just build it at an arbitrary place between two bus stops. People will start crossing the road. People will start crossing. They will be crossing the express because you want them to walk from the bus stop to go to that overhead bridge, climb it, then walk back to where they want. No, that's why people will just start crossing the road. You have to put things exactly where they need to be. So you have to work from the problem. You have to work from the need to the product, not from the product to the need. You can't build something. Most of the time, we are the ones in love with our products. Yeah, we're the ones in love. Okay, look at the Peer. The Peer built this amazing thing. These are very smart engineers. I think I knew Trojan from the days of Abeg, when Abeg first came out. These are very smart guys, and they built this amazing thing. And I heard that they had a burn rate of close to $20,000 per month. But between the first 9 months, I think like January to October, I think they were only able to make $650. A burn rate of 20. I understand, yeah, definitely. You work towards being profitable, but come on, you're not even making profit. Working towards being profitable does not mean that you're not making profit. It just means that you are still trying to make up for your expenses. It's not that meanwhile, there's a guy called Thomas Frank that saw Notion. Oh, Notion, wonderful. He learned how to use Notion very well, created the template, started selling the template, and right now that guy is making $150,000 a month selling Notion templates. Why? Because he knew that he got a market that needed his product. He got a market that needed this product. He didn't just build a fancy product and start shoving it down people's this product is amazing. Why wouldn't they want it? You must be out of your mind not to want this product. No, that's not how things work. So You can't burn so much operational money. You've not found product market fit yet. You are burning so much money on testing. This money you should have spent way less than that on surveying the market and seeing whether there is a possible market. Understanding your total addressable market and seeing whether they are ready. They are even whether that market is even ready to accept your product. And if your chances are slim, if you do your market survey, if your chances are slim, why are you operating fat like someone that has already made it? Like someone that has already found, you've not found product market fit. You've not found profit yet. You've not even found a reasonable amount of customers, and you cannot operate lean. You cannot operate lean. You cannot. These great companies, a lot of them, they said they started from garage. They started from their basement. They started from. We want to start from 2-story building. We want to start with the CEO having an executive assistant. You're not making profit. CEO already has an executive assistant. CEO is already traveling. These things are not. They didn't happen in the pay. I'm not talking. I'm talking about what really happens. We've seen stuff that happened with what was this guy? Is it Payday? Yeah, Payday. What happened with Payday? The one that happened with this Odogu something guy that like CEO already has executive assistant. He's already traveling abroad to go and check. Oh, I want to go and see how they run things in the US. I want to go and see how they run things. My brother, on top of investor money, and you've not made profit. bro. So that's one thing. Do your market analysis. Do proper value proposition. Look for the pain points. What do people really want? What problems are they trying to solve? That is what you build for. You don't build something you are in love with and you try to. It's like you're trying to force your love on someone else. They have to love you back. Love is a two-way street. You love them, they love you back. So we're not saying that you should not love your product, because if you don't love your product, you'll be frustrated every day waking up seeing it. You don't even want to go to work, even if it's succeeding. But it's a two-way street. You love your product, they also have to love your product. Another thing is sales and marketing. And even I myself, I told you, you don't get 3 failed startups if you are not doing anything wrong. Okay, you are obviously doing something wrong. So I've had 3 failed startups. So I'm doing something wrong. In fact, there was even a time I was not even the one spending my money on the startup. I was part of a startup and we're spending. Someone was putting all the bills for one that was, very, very, the guy was putting all the bills, and we still failed. We still failed. So marketing and sales. In fact, I think that's one of the words you can use to scare developers away. Like just enter a room of developers coding in peace and everything. Just whisper marketing. Every people will run out. We don't like marketing, but the funny thing is that what we hate a lot about marketing is the fact that you have to confront people, and most developers are introverts. We don't like talking to people and stuff like that. But the funny thing is that right now you're doing online marketing. You're doing online marketing, and there are strategies for that. And you don't even need to face a lot of people. Most of the time, you just make a video and just put it online. And even if you need to talk to people, go and learn it now. Sometimes you should not romance your weaknesses. Go and learn it. If you need to talk to people, go and learn. I'm learning to talk to people more and more each day. Not that I've always had any problem talking with people, but I'm learning to talk to people more and more these days. But marketing and sales, there's a structure to it. I'm hoping to release a new product next year. I'm already working on it. Miss other smaller products I'm working on, but there's a major product I'm hoping to release next year, and it's going to be one of my very big products after all the ones that have failed. And now I don't want to fail. This one must not fail. And because of that, I had to start learning a lot of things in sales and marketing. I've been hearing a lot of things about sales funnel. It just sounded so too complicated for me. Like I beg. All this it sounded like grifting, like just walking like a grifter. But I met this guy, Russell Brunson, online. I jammed this guy through one lady's video. The lady claimed she made $8 million in 4 years or more. Yeah, I clicked that video because I was bored, but it wasn't a clickbait, because she was talking about how she just quit for a while, went to chill for like a year and everything. And she mentioned Russell Brunson. And someone just told me, look for this guy. I went to search for the guy. Before you know it, I watched 7 of his videos already. And after watching 7 of his videos, I bought 3 books. That guy caught me. Yeah. That is sales and marketing. That guy was teaching about sales and marketing, teaching about sales funnel, and he funneled me. He funneled me in, and I ended up ordering 3. I didn't order them one week and another one. I ordered the 3 straight. It's a series. .com secrets. This is what I'm currently reading, and honestly, you can see where this market is. This is like 10% of the whole book. What I've learned already, my head is not ready. I'm already seeing my mistakes. I'm already seeing a lot of my flaws. I'm already seeing a lot of strategies. I'm already seeing defined steps to take my product from where I'm building it to the people that it's supposed to meet. So you have to ask yourself, how are you how are you how well are you doing understanding marketing, especially marketing digital products, marketing SaaS applications? Are you building a list of interested people? Are you gathering a list of interested people? There was a podcast I was listening to, and I think it was the guy that created Tailwind. I've forgotten his name. It's Adam Watson. The guy that created Tailwind. He said there was a product that he wanted to release, and when they started conceptualizing the product, for 2 years from that point, 2 years, they opened a Twitter account and they were using it to educate people about that space. They used 2 years. They not released the product yet, so they used 2 years to educate people through a new Twitter account about that space, and they were gathering followers. What are those followers? They are leads, qualified leads, gathering followers, and by the time they released the product, their conversion rate was through the roof. So, are you even gathering interested people? Do you know who your customers? Have you defined the personas of your customers? Have you defined it to recognize who you are really selling to? What is your total addressable market? Have you understood where your customers are, where they are gathered, where they are congregating? Do you know the places? Because that's where you're supposed to be targeting your ad. If you have any ads or any campaign or any this thing, that's where you're supposed to be targeting them, whether they're in one Discord channel or on YouTube or on Twitter. Also, how are you going? What is the story you're going to take to them? Because at the end of the day, sales is emotional. You have to put people in the emotional state that made you think that product was needed. You have to put people in that same state, because that's what will make them think that they need that product also, and make them to buy it. Once you can convince them. I remember when Bill Gates was doing a TED talk, and he wanted to convince people to. It was something I heard. I think I verified it. Well, I'll just say it's an interesting story. He was trying to convince investors to invest in the malaria cause in Africa and everything. And he came on stage. You know that these are rich people. A lot of them have never suffered a year in their life. Even the ones that suffered, they've made it, and other memories have been wiped. And he came with a jar of mosquitoes. Came with a jar of mosquitoes, and he put it on the table and started talking about the dangers of malaria and everything. And he just opened that jar, and the mosquitoes flew into the hall, and everybody, all was in a frenzy. Everybody started running up and down. Say yes, that is the condition where a lot of people are sleeping every night in Africa. Tell me you know how to donate. That people are exposed to such dangers on a daily basis. That is storytelling. What story are you going to take to your customers? Because you have to put them the same state you were that made you feel, oh, we need this product. You have to bring them into that state. Just like how, if you watched one of the X-Men, I've forgotten the Origins. They were talking about Origins, and they wanted to make Magneto. Magneto was a young boy then, and they wanted to make him express his powers. He expresses his powers when he's angry. They wanted to make him express his powers. He was trying, he didn't get it. They just bought his mother and they shot his mom. Baba scattered the whole place. He scattered the whole place. So you have to be able, and also how much empowerment are you giving to your salespeople? A lot of these big startups relegate their marketing teams, they relegate their sales teams. They're not giving them all the tools they need to work with. They're just treating them as if they're just like some sort of necessary evil. You have those guys have to be given everything they need to operate. As much as you think the product is important, selling it is also. In fact, market is what determines it. There was a time that some people opened a fancy restaurant in my school, for students. There were students, so they opened a fancy restaurant in my school for students. They glamorized everything. The Akara woman beside them was still selling more than them. In fact, she operates for 3 hours, and within 3 hours our entire stock is gone. While those ones are still waiting for people to be waiting for the first 5 people that will come after opening for 5 hours. So know how to generate leads to your business, know how to do sales and marketing. The cost of you doing your market research, you will gain it back in the money you will not spend if that market is not somewhere you should go and test. If that market is not somewhere you should go and build a product for. that few thousands you will use to test the market and see whether it's something you should approach or not. You will get that reward back in the money that you're not going to. Now, you guys have wasted so much money. It's not that startups don't fail. In fact, there's a high rate of startup failure, but at least don't get into a business to fail. You get into a business to fail. So that's all I have to say. Yeah, I'm still learning marketing. Maybe one day I'm going to do some breakdowns on what I'm learning marketing for developers. Yeah, maybe that's something to do. Maybe that's something to talk about. Marketing for developers. If you're interested in that, you can let me know in the comment section. So that's all I have to say about developers and businesses. We just need to know more, and if we don't know it, bring someone else that knows it and make sure that you give them everything they need to operate successfully. I remain your bro in tech, FK.